Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we continue our spooky season focused content with a little something different. I'm going to give you 10 horror films that you should stream right now just to decide whether or not you want to buy them on physical media. So pop that tape in, I got you. Let's go do this. All right, so something a little different, and it goes against things that I think about all the time, but I do still have uh some streaming. I have AMC Plus mostly and Shutter, and because I get it for free along with my Prime and IMDb subscriptions, and then I have what is it, the HBO Max, because it comes free with my cable plan. So I don't have specific like different ones, but those I do have. So I was laying here on the couch. I posted on my community tab yesterday. I made myself take yesterday off just to watch movies and to relax because I had to give my throat and voice a break. I was getting a lot of like phlegm and drainage in my throat, but from talking so much, because you have to project and talk and everything like that. And then I'm yelling at my son's football game, and it was pretty, I, getting hoarse, having to constantly clear my throat and use like throat lozenges and stuff. So made myself take yesterday off and rest. And what did I do? Well, I watched a lot of 4K movies that I have on disc. I just watched Village of the Damned yesterday. I'll be giving a 4K review on that. I rewatched Poltergeist 2 on 4K, so you'll be getting a review on that as well. So I watched a lot of physical media that I have, but then I was looking for stuff that I had never seen before. I posted for recommendations on the community tab. It is hard for me to find things that I want to watch that I've never seen before. And some of these I've kind of watched recently, and I might have seen them on, I might have got them on physical media, but some of these I saw on streaming and I don't have them on physical media yet. And I thought, sometimes it's okay to try before you buy, especially if you have some of these streaming services that are free for whatever reason. I know a lot of us have Prime because we have Amazon Prime. So I got a few here, and I think all these are available on physical media. Some of them have beautiful 4Ks out there that I want, that are Chase's targets. Some just have Blu-rays, and there's like one that I can't find for sure on physical media. So, here we go. We want to try to kind of get an idea of whether or not we want to buy these, because some of these, it's a big investment, right, to buy them. So let's just jump right into the list. I don't have them ranked in any kind of order or anything. These are just some of my recommendations to try before you buy. And one is I just watched yesterday for the first time ever. It's 2023's Dark Harvest. And I had fun watching this one, and I really wanted to like it more than I did, because it checks every single box for me. So it has that idealistic early 1960s small town vibe, but it has that creepy small town atmosphere where the whole town is sort of in on a secret. And then it has all the fall vibes because it's a farming town. It has cornfields as far as the eye can see. Then it has scarecrows. And as a matter of fact, that is one of the big things, because in this film, this town's secret is that every year they conduct this ritual called the Run, where the teenage boys in the town have to kill this scarecrow called Sawtooth that comes alive and comes out of the cornfield. And they have to kill him before he reaches the town church at midnight, in order to continue their town survival. And whoever kills him is the winner, and his family gets a house and car and money and all this kind of stuff. But there's something sinister underneath, and that mystery and that vibe. So like, this has all the vibes. It takes place on Halloween night is when it has to happen. So it has all those vibes that you want, that I look for. But I'm trying not to give a bunch of spoilers. it kind of left me wanting in the end. Like it has this deep potential for this sprawling, seedy, creepy, terrifying mystery, and it just kind of lets it fizzle out. But it is like the ride of the movie is definitely interesting and worth it, and you're trying to figure it out. It just doesn't maybe explain it all as much as you would want to for a mystery that you're trying to solve. And it almost seemed like at the end they were more worried about setting up a sequel than like kind of giving you any kind of closure. But the ride is definitely worth it, and I did enjoy it. So Dark Harvest, I recommend try before you buy. Now, this is the one I can't specifically find on physical media. I looked for it before doing this video, and I've not been able to find it. You guys let me know if it's out there. The next one's one I've talked about a lot, and that is 2024's In a Violent Nature. Now, the reason this is on the list is because it's very divisive. It seems like it's a love it or hate it type film, or it's an okay, but I don't really need to watch it again type film. So before you go out, and I know there's a lot of Blu-rays dropping, there's an inevitable 4K coming most likely, but before you go out and drop all that kind of money on it, if you have access to one of these, because it's on Shudder, if you have access to one of these, I would recommend trying it before you buy. Like I tried it before I decided to buy it. I haven't bought it yet. I'm still on my buying freeze. I haven't bought it. I'll probably wait to see if there's a 4K because I'm not in a hurry to watch it again. I feel like it's one I should maybe have in my collection because of the novelty of it and to kind of study it going further. But it is just one of those that it's so divisive, and you could spend money on it and get it and be like, why did I watch this? I never want to watch this again. I wasted my money. Or you could get it and be like, man, I can't wait to double and triple dip on it. So with a movie like that, I definitely think it is a try before you buy. So In a Violent Nature. The next one, a lot of you are probably going to disagree with me on, but I just watched this for the first time ever recently on streaming because it has a very expensive, but I've heard beautiful 4K out there, and I am talking about Cemetery Man. Now this from 1994, stars Rupert Everett, who's been in so many things you probably don't even know. He was even the voice of Prince Charming in Shrek. So he has been around and done some things. I heard a lot that this was very Evil Dead-like, and in a way it maybe starts that way, but to me it kind of loses the plot completely towards the end of the movie and leaves you with a bunch of questions at the end that you get no resolution to. And I really think it's on track to be really good, and then it just loses the plot. So like I want this movie and I want to watch it again. I don't want to pay Severin's prices for that 4K. Like I would love to own it, to watch it again, give it a try, to see how good the 4K looks. There's definitely beautiful actresses in it. And it has its moments where it's funny, horror comedy, dark comedy. But it just loses the plot and leaves me kind of like unfulfilled and asking questions at the end. And that's not what I wanted from a horror comedy. But I definitely want to see it again. So if you're on the fence about it, because Severin's copy is so expensive on 4K, I would definitely try before you buy. Now, the next one has all kinds of physical media options out there for you to buy. But I have heard some people say, I don't really like this. I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I cannot wait to get my second sight 4K. I am talking about Late Night with the Devil, which is also on Prime and Shudder. I think both. And definitely, if you're on the fence and you don't know whether you should buy the second sight 4K or whether you should buy a Blu-ray of it or a Steelbook, you got a lot of options out there, Cape Light 4K. If you don't know whether or not you should buy it or not, it is definitely one to stream. You can stream it, watch it, get your own feel of whether or not you want to own it. I definitely say it's a must own. I enjoyed it. The climax kind of fizzles out and kind of a little bit, but man, the ride, the setup, the everything about this movie, I enjoyed a whole lot. Can't wait to own it, but I could see whether you might have some questions on it. So Late Night with the Devil is on this list. Another one that I was on the fence about buying because it only has a Blu-ray. It's brand new. And I have heard some good things, and I've heard other people say, I don't know about it. It's kind of, you see what's coming. You know exactly what it is. It's 2024's Abigail. Abigail is the daughter of Dracula. This group gets basically brought in and locked in to this house with Abigail, who's the daughter of Dracula. This stars Dan Stevens, who's everywhere right now. And so you know what you're going to get. You don't have to like kind of hide that whatsoever. But it's I mean, it's good. It's good. It's like I watched it and I'm like, you know, if I could pick that up cheap, I would buy it. If not, I'm okay not having it. And I did like the movie. I'm not going to say I don't like the movie, but I like after watching it, I don't feel like it was one that I needed to run out and grab again to watch. It's like, if I ever find it or run up on it on a good price, I'll grab it. But you may love it. It may be perfect for you. I did enjoy it. It's just like, the streaming it kind of scratched my itch. I kind of see what it was. It was what I thought it was. It was a good ride, but kind of predictable in a lot of ways. And I mean, but fun. But like, especially now I'm on a buy-in freeze and there's so many things I want and it doesn't have a 4K. Like it's very back burnered for me, but you should watch it and check it out for yourself if you haven't seen it and you're on the fence. Now, another one that I just watched, I believe it was Friday night, might have been Saturday night, is 2024's The Beast Within. Now, this is a werewolf genre film starring Kit Harington, and it's a slow burn up until the last like 20-25 minutes, and then it ratchets up the intensity big time. Kit Harington gives a great performance in this. There's basically just like 4 people in the movie. There's Kit Harington, his wife, his daughter, and the grandfather, which is his wife's father. And they move out to this far away out in the woods like farm. It's like maybe in New Zealand or something like that. Because he's a werewolf. It shows him he has to go and be chained up every, once a month. It shows the wife putting the chain, like collaring him up, locking him out in the woods. He tells a story about his father, and the grandfather is worried that eventually he's going to get loose and kill all of them, or the werewolf is constantly like affecting his personality so he can snap at the slightest drop of a hat and be very dangerous and abusive. And the very end of this movie, and I don't want to spoil it, it kind of maybe makes you question everything in the movie that you saw, but it shouldn't. And I kind of got, like, I did some research on what the writer, director thought, and a lot of people out there think that maybe the werewolf is just a metaphor for something, and at the end it proves that and shows that it's not really happening. There's too many things in the movie that don't fit with that. Like, it is definitely a werewolf story, and you see the werewolf in the movie. It's a very interesting take, a very rough take. At the end, it gets very intense werewolf movie. I enjoyed it. Like, I would like a rewatch on this. Maybe even before I try to buy it, and wait on a 4K to come out for it, because I think the scenery in this thing is beautiful. But a very interesting take on the werewolf genre. But don't let anybody tell you that it is not a werewolf movie, because it 100% is a werewolf movie. There's something just thrown in at the end to make you question and think about everything in a different way. But if you go back and rewatch the movie, there's too many things that point to it. It is definitely a werewolf film. All right, I got a couple more. I got 4 more. The next one's one that I've talked about on here a few times. It's 1981's Dead and Buried. Now, there is a blue underground 4K of this that is really expensive. It's out of print. It is on Chase's Targets down below. I want the original. Like, there's 3 different variants. There's the one with this original poster on here. There is, and comes with a poster. And then there are two other variant covers. Now, I just eventually I'm going to just want the movie, but that original cover is only going on eBay, and it's going, anywhere from like $70 to $100. I'm on my buying freeze. Now, just the 4K itself is like $50. Even on Orbit, they still have one of the variants. But I highly recommend this movie. I caught it on streaming this year for the first time by myself. Found it accidentally. Don't know how I missed this movie all my life, but it is a super good atmospheric movie. It has more fog in it than The Fog. It's one of those small town creepy atmosphere vibes. Stars James Ferrantino, who I always think of as Saint Peter in Jesus of Nazareth. Like, that's what I remember him of as a kid. And I know he's been in a lot of other stuff, but this is actually from the writer producers of Alien. So it went through a lot of things. I highly recommend, if you have Shudder, to watch this on Joe Bob's Drive-In, because he gives you a lot of info on this movie. And before you make that investment on buying it out of print or at Orbit, I recommend that you try before you buy. But I highly, highly recommend this movie. All right, next up is 2019's Mortuary Collection. This is an anthology, and it stars Clancy Brown, from Starship Troopers, among other things. And this woman comes into this old mortuary, and she's applying for a job. And the old mortician there starts to tell her all of these stories. And so that's the wraparound story, and you get all these different stories of how these dead bodies ended up in the mortuary. And there is a hell of a twist that even I did not see coming on this. And I was kind of, taken aback by it. And it is a hardcore twist. And pretty good stories along the way. A little gruesome in some parts, but definitely a good movie. And if you like anthologies, I highly recommend that you try this before you buy it. I have not looked for this on physical media yet. I just saw this recently. But I believe it's on Amazon Prime, AMC Plus, Shudder. You can find it in several places. The Mortuary Collection, hell of a twist ending, and a good anthology. I always like a good anthology. Check it out. Coming right back with another anthology from 2019. This is one I recommend that you watch on Joe Bob's Drive-In as well, because that's where I saw it, on Shudder. And that is 2019's Scare Package. Now, this is... the wraparound story is told by a Chad's Horror Emporium video store owner. He is hiring a new employee and breaking him in, and he's telling him these different stories to exemplify like the rules of horror movies. So it's very meta. It involves a video store with the wraparound, so that's super cool. There's some really cool stories in this. Some it's a horror anthology, so a couple don't hit the mark as well, but there's a few of them in here that are really good. Of course, it has different writers, different directors from different segments. I do believe they're doing part 2, or they've just done part 2, but it's fun. I like horror anthologies. I always think there's something in them for everybody, and if you like horror anthologies and you haven't seen it, I recommend you check it out. If you've got Shudder, I recommend you check it out on Joe Bob's Drive-In, because again, he gives you all this background and context and other information, and it kind of just adds to the movie. But definitely a fun watch, very meta, got the movie stuff in there, and I just kind of really enjoy that. So Scare Package on our list of try before you buy. All right, and finally, on this list to me is the scariest movie on this list. A movie that I had to pause because my anxiety was getting so high, and my heart rate, like my watch keeps up with my heart rate. My heart rate was jacked, like 130. Like I was setting up on the edge of my seat. I had to pause it. I was getting anxiety. It's 1992's Ghost Watch. Now, this came recommended from Daniel over at Cobwebs, and boy, was he right. This is a haunted house movie that's told like news style, documentary style. This aired on like the BBC network, and then it got banned from airing because they had like 1 million calls in because people were freaking out thinking this was real. Parts of it are supposed to be real based on a true story. And It's investigating this house with this woman and her kids, and it's supposedly haunted, and it is super scary, super realistic, especially like if you even halfway believe that that kind of stuff could exist. This is the kind of way that it would be real and happen most likely. And if you're a deep thinker and you let your imagination go with what's happening, it gets 100 times scarier. I can't recommend it enough. I tried it before I bought it. Before it was over, I was on Orbit DVD ordering the Blu-ray. That's how much I like it. I think you will enjoy it too. So Ghost Watch, my scariest movie to me on this list. Highly recommend. Check it out. Try it before you buy it if you need to. I think it's on Amazon Prime and Shudder. Maybe a couple of others. It's out there. Maybe on Tubi as well. Some of these may be on Tubi too. Just check it out. But I'm not a big streamer, but I do have these streaming sources. And sometimes if I'm on the fence, I'll try one before I buy it. Or if I'm just looking for something I've never seen in hopes to try it before I buy it. Especially right now when I'm on a buying freeze and these all just come free with services I'm already paying for other things. It's a no-brainer. I was doing that yesterday, and I thought I would share some of these with you. So that is 10 horror movies that I recommend you try before you buy. What about, have you guys seen any of these? Let me know down there. Give me some other recommendations of things that you think I should try before I buy. It's very hard for me to find things I haven't seen that are my flavor of horror. Because like I'm not into like torture porn. I'm not into like Saw, Hostel. I'm not into those kind of things. I'm just not interested in them. No offense if you are. They're just not for me. But it's hard for me to find things that are like my vibe to watch that I haven't seen. So I'm always looking, and you guys let me know. And I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please like and subscribe, y'all. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to help support the channel, help dig me out of my buying freeze, help thaw me out, you can consider joining below at my Patreon link or right here on YouTube. Couple dollars a month, depending on your level. You get all different kinds of things, access to behind the scenes footage and my horror films and my filmmaking. Get your name in lights here for sure. All kinds of stuff. And I want to shout out to one of my channel members who has his own channel, Jordan over at the Movie Den. He just started his own channel. He just crossed 100 subscribers. That is a big deal. It is hard to start a channel. Trust me, I know. I did it just a few months ago. It's hard to start a channel. He's doing well. B-Dub's Movie Hub over there, same thing. He just crossed 100 subscribers. So you guys check them out, and congratulations to them. To that end, I am now right around 4,200 subscribers. When I get to 4,500, I'm going to make a big announcement because we're going to do a big 5,000 subscriber live stream with a big giveaway. I've been holding on to some stuff for a long time to give away at a 500 subscriber giveaway, and that, or 5,000 subscriber giveaway. And when we get to 4,500, I will announce some details on that. And I want to thank you all so much for helping me get there so fast. I really do appreciate all the support. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.